Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Joy, and here we bring mystical joy to the world every day. So I channel messages from spirit, from the divine, from angels, from crossed over loved ones, and call on the universe, the God of my understanding, and receive messages and pass them on to you and interpret them using tarot cards. So I'm not a traditional tarot reader, but hopefully I can bring some guidance, some clarity, or at the very least, a smile to your face. So I tried to record this already several times, and it was just interruption after interruption. Smokey, my cat, was, clawing at the door, and then up here chewing on the tape, and then it's just been a series of interruptions. And earlier today, or last night, there was a storm. And so there's this message coming through of it's devil energy, and devil energy wanting to stop some progress, or like it feels like every time you start picking up momentum, it's like you trip over your own feet, or things just get thrown in your path. And there's a pattern here that we need to recognize in your life of every time you start gaining momentum, are you self-sabotaging? Are you taking advice from people maybe you shouldn't be taking advice from? Are you procrastinating because you're afraid of being successful subconsciously? Because that means too much change, and change is uncomfortable. Take a deep breath with me now. And take a sip of water. There's something about the water. Maybe you're not drinking enough water. Maybe there's something in the quality of the water that you're drinking. Maybe that's something you need to look into. Maybe you need to immerse yourself in some water. Whether that's you need to go to a body of water and you're going to get some type of clarity that you need there, or just the relaxation to kind of ground and de-stress in an environment with water in it. There's something about the water here. Okay, so I did pull a few cards ahead of time. Like I said, I tried to record this several times already, and I'm going to start with the Oracle of the Pharaohs, of the cards of Ramat. And these cards, the first four that popped out are Set, Beginning, Sacrifice, and Practicalities, which is the advice, I believe. So when we look at these four cards, first of all, Set feels very powerful, very cerebral, very stern, very focused. If you notice, there's a narrowing of the eyes here, and this headpiece here that's coming up, almost like two horns, but it doesn't strike me as evil, although there is something shadowy. Something has been done in the shadows to earn this. When we think of the crown chakra, right? It's above your head. It's the top of your head. The crown sits on your head. So this is someone who has high status, right? They have high status, but there's something, I don't want to say sinister, but something just dark or off, or almost like they would get to or use shadowy means to achieve this status here. And they're laser focused. They're very cunning. So this refers to a person. And we have Beginning and Sacrifice. Well, those cards are self-explanatory. Beginnings take sacrifice. How does this connect to Set? practicalities. We're going to refer to the book here and see what the book has to say. So what is this Set energy? Who is this person? And what do they have to do with the beginning? A new beginning and a sacrifice. Set rules the realm of the night, an ancient deity considered to be a god of life and plenty. The god fell into disfavor and in later centuries was depicted as the murderer of Osiris, an adversary of Horus. Set represents intense emotional power. Okay. Talk about spot on. Okay, so he fell into disfavor and was the murderer of Osiris. Wow. So intense emotional power, but when that intense emotion, and maybe this is, this could not be some person outside of you. This could be a part of you that spirit wants to bring your attention to, as far as reining in or directing the intense emotional power. So maybe Set is when emotions go too far. There must be practicalities. So emotion is good, but you have to be able to channel it. You have to be able to use it. When you're just angry for the sake of being angry. Oh, so as a parent, and the parents, you can vibe with me on this one. We want to raise our kids better than we were raised, right? And we reflect on our own experiences of childhood. And in my childhood, I saw a lot of, anger not being directed in a productive method of teaching or of something constructive, just as an outlet, because of course we have these strong emotions, right? So I wanted my home and the way I raised my children to be different, right? So I have been consciously observing the situations where I would recognize the strong emotions welling up and recognizing it as it's coming up, and instead of reacting the way that has been portrayed or that I saw growing up as a kid, and it's kind of a joke with millennials, like, oh, back in my day we used to get beaten, trigger warning, but it was just a different world, right? And so we want to raise our kids differently. And if we react and we're supposed to be the leaders, then how do we expect our children to go out into the world and to be able to control themselves? This is how you get, these horrors and these crimes and mass casualty incidents, if you catch my drift, when people are not taught through their leaders exemplifying how to channel anger, how to alchemize stress, how to regulate your emotions in a healthy, productive way. And this is something that as a society, I think we are moving in that direction. This is normal. Mental health is not a cliche thing anymore. And you don't even have to get to that point if we just teach our kids how to regulate themselves. And that starts with teaching the parents how to regulate themselves, because the cycle has to break somewhere, right? So it sounds like not necessarily that this is some bad person in a position of authority that's sneaky. Like, don't get all paranoid with this reading, right? I'm interpreting this intuitively, and I hope you apply it to your situation. Ooh, something is like grabbing my tongue. Apply this to your situation as you see fit, as it, works for you, or what hits you in the gut. Because if it hits you in the gut, that's Spirit's way of saying, like, yep, that's yours right there. And not everything is going to hit. So when I do these readings, just whatever resonates, take it and apply it. But this really feels to me like this is talking about a shadow aspect of yourself that you still, that Spirit is calling you to look at and to make some sacrifices to maybe change the way you do things so that you can have that new beginning. And it's going to take practical measures. This is practicalities here, which we're going to read next. The number 14 might be significant. Sure foundations. People try to involve us in ideas that are either half developed or completely impractical. At this time, there is no room to entertain ambiguous or impractical schemes. The tone of this cubit may sound very commercial and with little to do with our personal or emotional life, but this may well not be the case. Remember, people can make social or personal plans that have very little chance of becoming a factual reality. Avoid cloud nine fantasies and keep your feet firmly on the ground. Yes. Don't be afraid to look at that shadow. Because once you alchemize that, once you break the cycle, and start doing things differently. Why is this? Oh, okay. Clarification. We're going to pull some tarot now on the practicalities. The Ace of Wands. So what practicalities? A new beginning, which we already got the beginning card. And the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Wow. This is like the final piece to the puzzle. It's the final shadow that you have... that has had power over you because you have not integrated it yet. You have not allowed, you're still in denial about it. Or if this isn't a shadow aspect of yourself, if this is a person outside of you, cutting ties with them, making that sacrifice to walk away, which hurts, which is really hard, brings you that new beginning, but you have to take the practical measures. You have to maybe have that conversation. Or, okay, if this is a shadow aspect of yourself, have that conversation with yourself. Maybe journal it out. Get really true with yourself. But if it is a person, have that conversation with them. Or make the decision to maybe not go to that event if it doesn't feel right. Or not to say yes when you want to say no. Be true to yourself. It's going to take practical steps. You have to take the practical steps for that new beginning to come in, because you can't keep doing the same behaviors, right? Whether that's in your own life or if this is a different person, you can't continue to nourish that relationship with the thing that is not good for you, or that person, or that part of yourself. So if it's anger, if it's procrastination, if it's judgment, if it's gossip, if it's envy, you have to take the practical steps. Maybe if it's like, catch yourself when it's happening. If if you see someone that has something that you want and you start feeling envious, catch it. That's him rearing his ugly head. And it's stopping you from that new beginning, from that Ace of Wands, which then brings you to the Queen of Wands. She's so content. Oh, look, she's draped in gold. She's got sunflowers and her little friend. So you're not going to be alone. Maybe that's what's holding, maybe that's why you're holding on to that part of yourself. The moon, it's been hidden from you. Oh my gosh, that one just jumped out. Oh my God, the Ten of Pentacles. The moon, the Ten of Pentacles has been... What you refuse to see is what is holding you back. Once you make the sacrifice, okay, you take the practical steps, then that new beginning comes in, that Ace of Wands. And what's on the other side of that? What's on the other side of the moon? The Ten of Pentacles. That's what's on the other side of the moon, is your Ten of Pentacles, your Queen of Wands era, chillin', draped in gold. But you have to integrate that or stop ignoring that. Oh, yes. I know this sounds like tough love, and it probably is. This is for me too. Because we all, if you don't think that you have a shadow aspect or some puzzle piece in your life that's holding you back from your next level, you're in denial, which is exactly what I'm saying. Then that's what it is. But if you are willing to look at those shadow aspects or look at what is around you that could possibly be keeping you tethered to something that is not for your highest and greatest good, if you're willing to do that and you're willing to make the sacrifices to explore the other side of the moon, you know, to explore the unknown, the unfamiliar, the shadow, if you're willing to explore it, it pays off tenfold. It pays off tenfold if you're willing to go on that journey. So what's stopping you? What's stopping the collective? The Emperor? Pride? That's what this is. Now, whether this is literally a prideful emperor, like someone who is just bold and has it all together, and like the emperor is a powerful energy. So either there's someone that if you do this, you may be threatening to. Interesting that I just happened to grab the Queen of Wands, which is who you are destined to be if you go. Oh no. Okay. Well, I don't know where it cut me off. I ran out of storage space on my phone because I forgot to empty the trash. The trash on my phone always has like gigs of old videos in it. Oh my God, hot mess. What is this? Maybe, is this part of the message or is this just me? Ah, the Emperor and the Queen of Wands. That's where I was. You might feel frazzled, like a little... Maybe he makes you feel frazzled. Maybe that's why you haven't taken that chance yet, because this Emperor is putting doubt. And the Emperor, either it's a person that maybe has you second guessing yourself, or who's like, he's an Emperor energy. So like, you give this person's words some weight. You listen to them, you know, like they are an emperor in their realm of in their own right. So they are either in a position of leadership, authority, success, and so it's not like you would just brush them off. And maybe they know that this is what's waiting for you, and they do not want you to have it. And that it might just be your pride. This might be your pride. It might not be an actual person. So keep that in mind. However, it's interesting that I put her up over here. This is what I was saying, because she's not worried about him. So once you truly accept this, that's your identity. Yes, I am the Queen of Wands. And I know that I have those pentacles waiting for me, and I'm willing to make the sacrifices to have the new beginning. No matter how hard it is. No matter how scary. Final message. The Knight of Cups. Aww. And the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like this is... So the Knight... Oh, and there's water. He's marching right up to the water. And he's bringing in that cup to drink from of emotional fulfillment. So the Knight of Cups, cups are emotion, right? And this thing that's been holding you back, once you decide, okay, I'm going to go for it, and you drink from that cup, you're like, why did I never do this before? And then the pentacles start coming in. Look, also draped in gold. Wow. So there's emotional fulfillment and a ton of money and a ton of success. And the only one standing in your way is you. This is in your power. You have the power. So this emperor, he's an emperor, but not over your life. You have the power. Okay, so how can we know, Spirit, what area of life? I'm feeling called to go back to this oracle deck. What area of life is this sacrifice needed? Ramses. 2 more. Air. And temptation. Ooh, okay. Ramses, air, and temptation. Let's consult the book. What area of life? Air, that's cerebral, right? Air is the mental plane. The unseen. So temptation with what is unseen, with your temptation not to believe. Ramses, wasn't Ramses a pharaoh? So that's what area of life? It's your belief, it's your mindset. Let's see. Air, the Lord of Air, Keben Sunef. All matters of the element of air are under the control of this deity who is concerned with study, education, writing, and all forms of communication. Cerebral. His presence within a reading will talk of possible new commercial ventures or a person embarking on a course of study. He is known as the Lord of the East Wind, and his season is the summer months, which we are in right now. During the hot summer, which it's been like 107. Today was 103. It's been a hot summer. During the hot summer, the Egyptians loved the cool east wind at dawn. And they believed, and we just had like 80-mile-an-hour winds tonight. This is wild. And they believed it was the breath of Ma'at at the nostrils of Ra. Keben Sunef was the messenger of the gods who carried the word of the God. Keben Sunef was the messenger of the gods who carried the word of the gods to man. So the temptation is not to believe, and it's 144. I don't know if you believe in that 144,000. You're one of them. You're one of them. And the temptation here is to believe that you don't have what it takes. Ramses. But you do. You do. You have everything that you need to face that emperor. Maybe that's just a stubborn side of you, your pride, to face that shadow. You have everything you need for this new beginning. Maybe you just need to study yourself. Study yourself to find the practical ways, the practical steps that you can take what's with Ramses? Ramses, an encounter with an uncompromising authority. That's that emperor. So, but what area of life, Spirit? Okay. I know you said it's to do with study. An air and a gust of wind. So Ramses is an encounter with an uncompromising authority. Procedures must be adhered to, as any unconventional methods will be frowned upon. It appears that other people will follow different rules to the ones they impose on us. There is a definite might makes right vibration in this pylon, which instills a respect and fear of authority. However, we should remember that the power of this pylon can be highly beneficial if tempered by wisdom and restraint. And that goes back to this shadow side of self. Once you integrate this, you are so powerful. And that's what skyrockets you into this 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. You're the queen. You're the queen of wands. But so this emperor, this bold force, the Ramses card is telling us that this emperor is going to come up against you. They're trying to stop you from recognizing that you have everything you need. That's the temptation, is to slip into the old mindset of I'm stuck in this old way of being, or this shadow has control over me, or like, so say it's how we raise our kids, right? Like, saying, well, it's always been done that way, or because I said so, or like, and not listening to them, or not trying something different because what worked in the past might not work now. The temptation is when you're met with an uncompromising authority. The system says it's always been done this way, and this might not be parenting for your situation. Take it how it applies. It's always been done this way. This is the emperor saying that it's always been done this way. And the temptation is to just continue allowing that old pattern to keep replaying. Oh, my throat. See, they don't want this message coming out. You have everything you need. Start taking the practical steps. Don't let that emperor get in your head. It might just be your own thoughts. It might be the negativity in your own mind. Or it could be a literal person. I just want to go back to there. Okay. Man, this is kind of like a heavy energy. Ugh, it's okay. You got this. You have the pentacles waiting for you. You have the pentacles waiting. Look at this. Gold, gold, gold. Man, you have it all. Just reach out and take it. Take that fresh start, like this hand coming out of the cloud. God's giving it to you. He's saying, here, fresh start. The God of your understanding, or universe, or spirit, or whatever you believe in, is giving that to you. They're saying, just let this go. Just let it go. Make the sacrifices. Have the new beginning. Take practical steps. You got it. Doesn't matter who comes up against you. You got it. You got it. I can't wait to hear how this plays out for you. Please let me know in the comments. And if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Please share it with someone else who could use some mystical joy in their life. And at the very least, I hope that you are inspired to make some changes, or to at least give some attention to maybe somewhere you didn't know that you needed to look. So let me know how it resonates, and give it a thumbs up if this reading did resonate with you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, world.